North America is standing at a crossroads, caught in the middle of a high-stakes game of politics, trade, and global influence. At the center of this unfolding drama is a bold move by former U.S. President Donald Trump, his plan to slap a hefty 25% tax on products coming in from Mexico. If everything goes as planned, these new tariffs will kick in on February 1st, 2025. But this isn't just about economics. It's part of a much bigger push to crack down on illegal immigration, curb drug smuggling, and respond to the rapid changes brought on by globalization. Not surprisingly, Trump's plan has set off a storm of debates. Some see it as a necessary step to protect American jobs and national security. Others warn that it could backfire, straining relationships and hurting businesses on both sides of the border. But while all eyes are on Washington and Mexico City, a new player is making bold moves behind the scenes: China. Mexico and China are growing closer than ever, and their deepening ties are rewriting the playbook on trade and diplomacy in North America. This isn't just another trade deal, it's a power shift. Mexico, once seen as merely an extension of the U.S. supply chain, is stepping into a much bigger role on the global stage. And China? It's quietly expanding its influence, not through military force, but through cold, hard investments. From building factories to funding green energy projects, China is sinking billions into Mexico's economy. These investments aren't random, they're calculated. They're designed to position China as a dominant force in the Western Hemisphere, reshaping alliances and challenging the status quo. So what does all of this mean for the future of North America? Let's break it down into 8 key reasons why this shift is sending shockwaves across the globe. China is quietly shaping the future, making strategic moves that go beyond just business. Instead of simply keeping up with global trends, it's positioning itself at the forefront of industries that will define the next generation. One of the biggest areas of focus is electric vehicles. As the world shifts away from gasoline-powered cars, China isn't just following the transition, it's leading it. By investing in battery technology, vehicle production, and charging infrastructure, Chinese companies are ensuring they don't just compete in the global EV market, but dominate it. At the same time, China is pouring money into renewable energy, knowing that the future belongs to countries that control clean power. From massive solar farms to cutting-edge wind technology, these investments aren't just about sustainability. They're about securing influence in an industry that will shape economies for decades. And while these projects align with global efforts to combat climate change, they also serve a larger purpose: expanding China's economic footprint in key regions. Nowhere is this more evident than in Mexico, where Chinese investments are fueling a transformation. As new factories and infrastructure projects take root, Mexico is rapidly becoming a hub for advanced manufacturing. This isn't just boosting its economy, it's creating jobs, training a new generation of skilled workers, and pushing the country further up the global supply chain. Instead of relying on traditional industries, Mexico is emerging as a key player in high-tech sectors, from automotive production to green energy. But these investments aren't just about growth, they're a clever way for China to navigate global trade barriers. For years, Chinese companies have faced tough restrictions when trying to sell goods directly to the U.S., but by setting up operations in Mexico, they've found a way around these obstacles. Products made in Mexico can move more freely into the U.S., allowing China to maintain its access to one of the world's most important markets. This strategy not only helps Chinese businesses expand, but also strengthens China's presence in North America in ways that go beyond simple trade. Step by step, China is embedding itself deeper into the region, using strategic investments to reshape economic relationships and solidify its influence. Each factory built, each job created, and each deal signed strengthens its position, making it clear that these moves are about much more than just business. China's growing presence in North America isn't happening by accident. It's a carefully crafted strategy that's reshaping the economic landscape. By establishing itself in industries that drive the modern world, like automobile manufacturing, renewable energy, and advanced technology, China is making sure it isn't just a participant in global trade, but a dominant force. It's not just about selling products anymore. It's about controlling the production, supply chains, and infrastructure that make trade possible. At the center of this transformation is Mexico, a country that is no longer just a manufacturing outpost for American companies, but an emerging economic powerhouse in its own right. For decades, Mexico's economy has been largely dependent on trade with the United States, but that dependence is weakening as China steps in with massive investments and long-term partnerships. Factories producing high-tech goods, electric vehicles, and industrial components are no longer just serving American markets. They're also fueling China's expansion in North America. This shift is creating a ripple effect far beyond Mexico's borders. As more Chinese companies set up operations in Mexico, supply chains are evolving, trade routes are changing, and new economic opportunities are emerging. Mexico is no longer just a middleman, it's becoming a key player in the global economy. With its proximity to the US and access to major shipping routes, Mexico is uniquely positioned to benefit from both Western and Eastern markets, turning itself into a bridge between two economic giants. But this isn't just about trade, it's about influence. The more Mexico strengthens its relationship with China, the more leverage it gains in negotiations with the United States and other global players. No longer reliant on a single partner, Mexico is diversifying its economy, attracting new investments, and positioning itself as a critical link in the global supply chain. It's a shift that not only strengthens Mexico's economy, but also alters the balance of power in North America. As this partnership deepens, the world is watching closely. The US, once Mexico's dominant economic partner, now faces a new reality where Chinese companies are becoming just as influential in shaping Mexico's industrial growth. Meanwhile, other nations are rethinking their trade policies as they adapt to this new dynamic. What's happening in Mexico is not an isolated event. It's a reflection of the larger global realignment where emerging economies are taking greater control of their own futures. This transformation isn't just about business deals and trade agreements. It's about a new world order where economic power is shifting away from traditional centers of influence. Countries that were once seen as secondary players are now setting the terms for global trade, and Mexico, backed by China's investment and strategic foresight, is leading the way in this evolution.